is my life. All I ever cared about was being the best professional wrestler I could ever be, and maybe one day be as good as him or as great as you. I love this business. This business means everything to me. I never thought I would love anything as much as I did pro wrestling. And then your daughter came in my life. You know what the crazy thing is? She came into my life because she was apologizing for you. She was apologizing for you being such a hard ass with me, for you not trusting me, even when I had your brother's back until the end. I know that this has happened entirely too quick. You know what? Screw it. Come here. I'm not real good at all this feelings stuff and all this emotions and like, I'm a hard ass and I know I'm a hard ass. But like, when I'm with you, things are different. You make me laugh. You know, all I know is this. I love you. I know our entire relationship has played out in front of the entire world. I don't care. I want everybody to know how much I care for you, how much I love you, and I want you to marry me.
I don't believe this. She said yes. Oh my God. What the heck?
Not only do I want you to marry me, but I want to do it right here next week in front of everybody.
She said whatever you want.
I can't believe this. Next week, the wedding? Bully Ray? This is crazy. Oh my God. All the years I know Bully, I never would have expected this. This is crazy. Next week, I guess we got a wedding.
Wow, look at the reaction. Look at the face of the Hulkster. Just fuming. You got to believe. Oh my gosh.
Seething. But yet Brooke seems so happy, as does Bully. Oh my God, massive news. Next week, huge wedding.
Massive news. Massive matrimony. The wedding of Bully and Brooke next week.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your host, Fearon Derry.
Sit down, shut up, and listen up.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly, apparently also known as Hogan Knows Best, here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. So somehow in the last, 21 years and change, we've gone from Elizabeth, will you marry me, to this dreck. Oh, man. So we've got ourselves a wedding this Thursday on Impact. And, oh, by the way, there's a TNA pay-per-view tomorrow that seems to be completely omitted in terms of, well, paying attention, apparently. And now this is one of the big four of the year because they've reduced it from 12 to 4. I don't know. I don't know. That being said, since TNA doesn't seem to want to pay attention to the Genesis pay-per-view, I'm going to for you. Let me at least give you the lineup. The prediction's certain to go wrong, and we'll go from there and see if it doesn't get overshadowed by more of the wedding stuff this coming Thursday. It's amazing. Oh, man. All right. You've got a number one contender knockout gauntlet match. So that's where the women will be involved. 5 women in this case: Gail Kim, ODB, Miss Tessmacher, Mickie James, and Velvet Sky. is there a 5-sided coin I can flip? I'm going to go with Mickie James on this one, and the only reason being that she worked that house show with Tara, so maybe they're trying to build that for a possible pay-per-view, maybe at Lockdown, or maybe one of the Thursdays on Impact, since, again, those seem to be more important to TNA. So I'm going to go with that. Sure, why not? Devon against Joseph Park. He's done his training for now in OVW. He's got his match against Devon. It's a non-title match, or at least it hasn't been indicated that it's for the television title. I think Devon's going to retain. Joseph Park's going to take a shot that's going to bloody him up, and we'll see yet another black hole slam as the extremely slowly developing storyline that Joseph Park and Abyss are somehow the same person continues to develop. Kenny King and Christian York, that's the finals of the tournament for the number one contender for the X Division title. I think Christian York's going to take that one. Again, a bit of a coin flip. And then go on to challenge Rob Van Dam, who I think is going to retain the X Division title. Then you've got Chris Daniels against James Storm. Both of these guys really need a win here, but considering that Daniels at least held the tag titles for a little bit and Storm's been kind of lounging in obscurity for a while, I think James Storm should get the nod here. Whether he does or not, that's a whole other story, but I'm picking him. DOC against Sting. They built up the hype for Sting to come back, and for some reason, anybody on Aces and Eights not named Devon doesn't seem to be able to win, so I'm going to go with Sting to take that one. Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez against Matt Morgan and Joey Ryan for the tag titles. I think Chavo and Hernandez are going to retain there. And Jeff Hardy, Austin Aries, and Bobby Roode, a triple threat elimination match for the World Championship. I don't know. I've been on the fence about this one, but I think I'm going to stick with Hardy. TNA usually tends to make a title change for the sake of having a title change every pay-per-view, but I don't know. This one, I think they're all the champions are going to retain, and it'll lead up to Lockdown, which is like one of the bigger pay-per-views of the year. I mean, obviously, Bound for Glory is their big show. Lockdown seems to be second, although Slammiversary, I don't know. Now that there's only 4 shows a year, how does that shake out? That's an interesting question. Also, let me let you know, stand back, there's a hurricane coming through. That's right, next Saturday, January 19th, Hurricane Helms. He'll be over at George's Cards and Collectibles on New Falls Road in Levittown. Interesting start time, 11 a.m. until 1 p.m., so he'll be signing autographs and taking photos, and not that there won't be a huge line, but in case there's a slight break in the action, he'll actually be able to listen to me. Whether he'd want to or not is a whole other story, but that's certainly the option. You can head on over. If you're running a little bit late, you can head on over and listen in the car. You can listen to the stores. You check out some of the great collectibles, figures. They've got DVDs, magazines, the action figures. They've got replica belts. All kinds of signed memorabilia. I mean, they have a lot. I could spend the hour talking about George's Cards and Collectibles, but better to go over and find it all out yourself, because I know my words can't do it justice. Plus, another good time to go, not that any time isn't a great time to go, but Friday, March 1st, Barbie Blank, formerly known as Kelly Kelly in the WWE. Matt, I was going to say, you should be Googling her right now. If you, I know you don't know. I've said here you don't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch, but just trust me on this. Kelly Kelly, that I know, got to educate these kids right, and that's definitely the way to. But she'll be at the New Falls location Friday, March 1st from 6 to 8 p.m. For more information about either of those signings or all the other great stuff, they have 3 different locations. Yeah,
I'm there.
So I think we just sold Starship on it. The Starship's apparently coming for Kelly Kelly. Look at that. But for more information, call 215-943-2475, or you can visit georgescollectibles.com. They've got the home location over on New Falls Road. They also have a store in the Oxford Valley Mall, and just added a couple months ago, they now have a store in the Quaker Bridge Mall for you folks across the river over in New Jersey. So 3 different stores, great stuff over at George's Cards and Collectibles. All right, now Starship was bugging me for information about this during the break, so I'm going to go ahead and let you know about it. Yes, John Cena bumping Fred Flintstone from the Fruity Pebbles box. That's right. He will appear on the front of 4 million boxes of Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles. A quote from a post-marketing director: "We've just been talking with kids. They wanted more variety." So apparently it's not a complete ousting, but some of the boxes will have Fred Flintstone, some will have John Cena on there, but still, he's sharing the billing.
John posted a link on the Facebook page. It said an ESPN link saying John Cena and Bam Bam will replace Fred Flintstone on the front of more than 8 million.
More than 8 million. It's doubled since the story that I'd gotten. Okay. Go. Or maybe it's 4 million Fruity Pebbles and 4 million Cocoa Pebbles, thus being 8 million.
There you go. That could be
simple math. That's what we do here. We try to educate as best we can here on Pro Wrestling Weekly, even with simple math. But yeah, Sharon Pupel, a post-marketing director, said, "We've just been talking with kids. They wanted more variety." She had said this to the Advertising Age website. "Fred isn't necessarily the coolest or most relevant guy for kids who we are going after." That's from a post-marketing executive, that. And you got to realize, Fred Flintstone, the Flintstones came out in 1960, over 50 years ago.
Yeah.
The Flintstones came out the same year that the last time the Eagles won a Super Bowl, or won a championship. It wasn't even the Super Bowl back then. That gives you an idea how long ago this was. So, just as, I was going to make some sort of an Eagles reference, but no, I think some of the players on that team are even more relevant than Fred Flintstone at this point, at least the kids these days. Maybe in the Philadelphia market, I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent with it, but yes, John Cena will be on the Fruity Pebbles box. I don't know. Do you think that's more meaningful than getting on the cover of a Wheaties box as an Olympiad or an American of some sort?
I think so. Definitely. It's something new. Wheaties is something that's expected. If you do something big, you're on Wheaties. But Fruity Pebbles, that's like the next echelon.
The next echelon. And don't forget Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah. Oh, God forbid.
That's exactly. We're talking two different cereal boxes here. That's a whole nother story. Oh, wow. All right, another news. The Pope is done with TNA. D'Angelo Gennaro, also known as Elijah Burke, announced on Twitter that his contract with TNA has expired and that he will not re-sign with the company. Quote, "Pope's contract expired with TNA on January 1st. I will not be back. Thanks to Dixie and the whole TNA family for a wonderful 3+ years." So now is the WWE watch on? Is he in one of those boats where there's a non-compete clause and then maybe the day after WrestleMania or something like that we'll see Elijah Burke back in WWE? Who knows? Also, Mrs. Foley's baby boy is a Hall of Famer. WWE announcing yesterday that Mick Foley is the first entrant into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2013. The induction will be held at Madison Square Garden the night before WrestleMania, Saturday night, April 6th. And I know over the upcoming weeks, there'll be the constant debate as more names are announced. Who should be in, who isn't in, who got snubbed. It's something that happens pretty much every year. Will this be the year that Savage posthumously gets in, now that he has unfortunately passed? Everybody thought it would be last year, maybe this year. Who knows? There are certainly a lot of questions with that. And also, TNA finally has removed Sarita's profile from their roster page. She hasn't been on TV since April of this past year when she was a member of Mexican America. And only now are they getting her out. I would say, suffice to say, that they're just removing her profile now, and she's been off TV for 9 months. Pretty safe to say that she's not coming back. Also, Batista might be starring in a movie. You remember Batista, former WWE champ and MMA hopeful for a little while, Dave Bautista. Well, he's listed as a top contender for the role of Drax the Destroyer in the movie Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's according to comicbookmovie.com. The other contenders listed are Brian Patrick Wade, who had a role in the movie The Guardian, and Isaiah Mustafa, who you would probably know better as the Old Spice guy. Yeah, you know him. Wide receiver. Oh, there we go. That's something. It's the Oakland Raiders. You're making it seem like I pay attention to that. No, it's no. I got nothing on that. You know that. I mean, he's done all those commercials recently. Yeah, you know the ones. And if that wasn't a clue, well, yeah, you know where we're going with this. Oh, man. All right, let's take care of our second bit of business here. I'm running a little bit late for it. We'll get to Ron, who's been hanging on patiently on the other side, and make sure he's got ample time. And some Facebook feedback as well. I've seen John from Northeast Philly has been going nuts on the Facebook page. So we'll talk a little bit about that, get some of your opinions as to how you would structure your pay-per-views. I've got that set up there. Still a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it in here on Pro Wrestling Weekly on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.